Cool. Okay. Is a screen? Yeah, it's actually not a horrible view of the whole thing, except I might do this a little bit. So, yeah, it's over there, but so it's Frank's little RC truck. He's had that thing for probably 7 years or so, and the whole rear suspension kind of broke on it. So it handled pretty bad, like jump or like dropping from a really high place while moving around. So we're gonna remedy that. I got some new links to put on it to make it a little less brittle, and I've got some better shocks on the back. And then we're just gonna go through and just fix on a few things I've seen that were broken on it. And yeah. So part of the stuff, I might be getting stuff moved around and cleaning up a little bit more because I've been trying to get a few RCs like put together and sold and just cleaning out the hobby room a little bit just to focus on a few things I have had in the back burner. So here's its currently broken like state. I could about pull the whole rear axle off this thing. There's just a few parts that are left holding it together. So yeah, we're gonna just start replacing a few things on this. And so we'll get to that in a sec. While I'm at it, check it out. It's a stock little WPL, and I found like the concept body of the 2004 like new Bronco they were gonna do, and I just threw some junk parts together, and I might finish this. I might just sell it the way it is. So this is kind of cool because it's really scale, and I can get all the headlights and turn signals and stuff to work on it. So that's a background thing. We're gonna get to this now. So I might move the laptop yet, but seems like from what I can see from here, everything's like looking pretty good on the camera. So yeah. I might play around with the lighting a bit too. It's just, I'm still experimenting with how to live stream properly. So go. Now I gotta find that. And my parts are over there from working on Xmod, which is that. That, and that should cover it. That's basically pliers, this stuff. Pull balls are all down there. I've got the HPI shocks I can piece together to make a matching set as the front because they're softer springs, so they hopefully won't basically put so much preload, or how I say it, like how I say it. Basically, the stiffness of the spring was so much it broke more of the links than anything else, and they actually popped off of the axle. So that kind of makes me think it was a little bit too stiff of a rear spring on this. So we're going to soften that and improve a few other little things. So I'm going to try, or probably move you guys like that. There we go. That's not bad, right? Give me a second. I'm going to check the screen. Okay, I have 480. Okay. And it's, I want to echo that. There. Okay, we're going to move the whole laptop down a little bit and closer. So we'll just use the Cloudbuster to do that. Cool. Okay. So here we go. And yeah. Usually at the beginning of every year, I'm just kind of cleaning out what current or old projects I've had sitting around and just trying to get them like put together to where I can sell them. So the hobby room, as soon as I do something, becomes a mess again. So, here's the truck. Looks like screws popped out of the roll cage again. Fix that. So I built this for him and his son to kind of use. And it's just a really, it was beat up, well, worse than this, just a old HPI Wheelie King. They're roughly 12th scale, and they're just really cool with how they're put together. So this is using a drill motor I adapted over that's a 550 size, and I just used some junk to make it where the motor fit this way instead of actually fitting over on this side of the transmission, and that way the whole like interior of the body could fit or around it, and then just random links and whatever else I had sitting around to piece it back together. Just kind of a little cool bit of history because this thing's been properly like beat on, and these are old like Durtrex Maximum ST tires for like a 2-wheel drive monster truck. I just, it's been a lot of old memories of just like this thing wouldn't break. Finally took a really giant jump to kind of mess it up. So yeah, we're gonna get to it now. If you guys are okay with it, I could play like royalty free music next time through like I think it's called like White Bat Music or something. I could just play it on a separate like stream on the laptop. That way you guys wouldn't have to having weird thing going on to hear music. That's up to you, or I could talk more or less. I'm just still kind of getting used to the whole streaming thing, so any feedback is appreciated. So we have one link put together. We're just gonna pop it on here. Right, you guys might want to see what I'm doing instead of me just seeing what I'm doing. So yeah. Well, that dropped, but I was going to show you what happened. I see you. There we go. See? So it basically, the shocks were so stiff that it made it where the axle, instead of compressing under just the jump, it ended up trying to rock the axle back. And that's what made it where it tore away from the pillow balls on all these. So this is just, there's a camera on this. So it just ripped it in half, which is impressively bad that happened, but these are at least really old pillow ball. So whatever I put together, the new one is at, is not ancient and it's made of a better plastic. So it should be able to hold together and handle the same kind of jump. But that's part of the repair. I'm still going to go through and check the hardware and stuff and just make the thing not break. If I was smarter about this, I'd find the drill and it's over there. You'll see a cool trick. So we'll take the drill and I'll basically hook onto the broken end of the plastic here, and it'll do the work for me of getting it unthreaded off of the link. Put in reverse. See, I feel like that's kind of clever. Thing is, you can't do that with the new link, but cool trick. If I ever thought about it, I could probably build another one of these someday, but it's just cool to like know this is the one and only like HPI wheelie king I've put together before. I think I put this thing together for like 80 or 60 bucks or something like that years ago because I was just trying to get what I could piece together from just junk I had cheap. Now every time I've looked at just HPI Wheelie King stuff, they always want like $150 or something like crazy. There we go. Now it's one link. Where's the hardware though? Well, no matter. I found a bunch of hardware while I've been cleaning up the place. So we'll just put new hardware in. Get this to line up. And stop trying to pull away because there's junk in the way. Just gonna throw this in there so it stops trying to fight. Okay, now I can go look for well, a washer and a screw so it doesn't like try and fall apart. Ta-da! So that'll go through there, do that little trick. There, that's one down. And to make less work for me, I'm going to make sure the drive shaft's hooked up in the correct orientation so it doesn't try and bind. So that's put back together. Now it's this link. Okay, it's trying to spin the wrong side. There we go. So current thing going on with the little Lego RC projects I've had going, or just in the background. The little 3-wheeler's been awesome. I was almost done with a really cool little Lego project that I had a video on a while ago, and found out the ESC receiver combo just decided to be junk. So I'm waiting on an ESC to show up so I can finish the thing. And yeah, this kind of makes things a little slower for that project. Okay, there we go. Okay, what is this? This keeps getting in the way. Yep. And where did the screw go? There it is. Okay, got that started. Now we gotta line up with the other half of the plastic piece. All right, that's one part down. So now that that's done, I might still straighten out how these links are kind of tweaked, like the brackets for them. And yeah, we definitely got to do that with the front. It's stuff like that I was talking about where we need to check over a few things on this truck to make sure they're not messed up because oof. And it's probably been about 4 years since I've actually worked on this truck because he's just done whatever he's had to with it. So there's that. The battery was something he was talking about that was kind of junk on it. I'm probably going to try and find him a small LiPo or just a newer nickel metal battery. That way his son's got something to drive that won't be super difficult. And what is going on with these body mounts? Weird. I remember them being put together quite like that. We might go change these out for something else, or it's just the hardware needs to be changed. Might just be the hardware. I'm just little things like that I'm going to adjust. So, These tires haven't come off the bead. It used to be an issue with, I remember. Might pop those out. I've got some brass ones from that RC crawler I picked up a while ago, and they would be a solid upgrade for this thing to make it a little bit tougher. I gotta remember where I put them. I'll be honest, I don't quite remember how these go to, like, if there's a spline underneath that helps locate them or anything like that. So we're gonna learn together on this. I just know these shocks are getting in the way. Okay, there's that. I'll use that bit of hardware because I don't know how difficult it's going to be to find. Okay, so there's a spline towards the back of them. Are these meant to go like this? Sorry, I'm remembering how these trucks were put together when they were new about, oh geez, was it like 16 years ago? So on the top of this would have been the upper mount for where the shock would have been on top of the axle, and then the link would have been below the axle entirely instead of being rotated 90 degrees. Okay. Well, I'm still not going to do it the way they want to because it works better this way. That's why I did it. It's been forever since I thought about it. Okay. Yep. Oh, that's annoying. I might change this out for a longer bit of screw, just to make it a little more durable. And where's the screws? They're over there. I'll be right back. Behold, random junk screws because things. This is looking for a normal button head screw with a normal fine thread and just a little bit longer. That way I can put a little bit of Loctite on and make it where this number pops apart and moves around again. Not going to use the fancy Tamiya ones because those stay separate for a reason. It's hard to find them in the correct, like, how do you say it? Like anodized, it's a zinc. So this is very annoying. Why can't I find what I'm looking for? Okay, that could work. I know I've got the hardware I'm looking for to make it a little bit better. I just have to find it somewhere in this mess. Yeah, it's pushing it. This kind of highlights the reason why I don't stream too often, because there's a lot of downtime of just hunting for a dumb little screw, which is kind of boring. But if you guys are cool with that, then I don't mind you guys watching. There's one more. We're getting closer. Maybe. Primarily just worried about the length of the screw and not how rough, or even if they match each other. This truck's never been to make it, or been made to look nice, but just function and be like as tough as a brick. Okay, this might work. Just need to see where I put my Loctite now. Okay. I don't know what happened to my Loctite, so I'm just going to go ahead and say the longer screw should do the trick of keeping everything from moving around anymore. I wanted to do, but we'll see. Oh, wow, that was a waste of time. The threads are just really short in these. Cool. got that tighter than it was before. Just want to make sure it doesn't bind the drivetrain at all. Oh, right, wheels off. Yeah. Okay, so if I just torque them down, hopefully we won't have an issue. It's not what I wanted to do, but I don't have a clue where my Loctite went because it's not anywhere in the drawers where I keep it. It was a bit stronger than when I put this thing together, so maybe me tightening it down might hold it together. I don't know yet. We'll hope so. Until it breaks, then we'll know so. Cool. All right. I'm going to find the better hexes for the rear and probably put them on the front, and then it'll be on to replacing these giant shocks because they were the only HPI ones I could find at the time because HPI had recently gotten the whole lawsuit thing and I couldn't get anything else. But I could get the giant ones, and now I can get the correct, like hopefully the same orange ones I have, if I remember correctly, in the drawer. That was the wrong drawer. Well, wait, in my head, the hexes. Where are you? Is that this? No, it's not that. Well, that was frustrating. We found one. It's a brass, hex. It's a lot tougher than the plastic one that I could see was starting to get deformed, so hopefully I can find the rest of them I know I have somewhere. Okay, 2 for now is gonna do. 1 sec. So this originally would have had just a flat hex on the back of it, and this one had a weird step to it. And I don't know why it was like that because that's just going to make the wheel try and wobble around a bunch. This will not. One thing I have to make sure though. This fits into the hex, and this will fit on the stub shaft of the wheel. It's trying to, but it acts like it doesn't want to. Might be why I haven't used these hexes yet, because they seem to be stubborn on everything I've tried to put them on. And yeah, they're being stubborn. So that means they're going to get drilled out now. I'll probably have this area cleaned up tonight, later on after the stream. But for right now, you get to see the mess in the foreground. That is the correct one we need to get rid of the step in this, so it just slides on and does what it should. Only your professionals should do this. I am not one of them.
Okay. Now, if this doesn't fall apart, we'll be able to finish it. Ta-da! It's a bit warm. But if I put this on here, what on earth is still trying to be stubborn? There's a small step in it still, so I gotta find it next size up a little bit, and then this will cooperate. Also, it appears these are not bronze, they're made of aluminum. It's just kind of a weird thing. Okay, I think we'll go with that size. There's a reason I got the little bits I do in that bag. Watch me as I ruin this one. Yep. Come on, you let go. This is frustrating. I don't have the right pliers for this. There we go. Okay, is this going to cooperate now? I just want it to fit. I'm about ready to grab the other pliers for this. Just didn't feel like running to the garage. And it sure is trying to become a problem. See how much stuff fights sometimes when it's just literally that low? Last little bit. So there's a little bit of a step on this. I am going to find a file, and then I have to find the pin that came out of that, and then it can go back together and be better. There we go. Got rid of the burr that way. Now where's the pin? There it is. I think. There. Finally is cooperating. Okay. There is a new hex. Honestly, it doesn't fit quite as nice as I would have liked it to, but it wanted to fight me because it was wrong, like border size. Let's just play in the bearing and knuckle. things loose a little bit. There we go. It's really just playing the in between the screws and the knuckle, which it's not terrible. It's better than it was. Okay, gonna go find the shock for this side, and then this side, and then deal with the whole hex sign for that side because that kind of sucked. Oh, cool. I might have enough, like, the orange-colored springs to actually make it match. Shock. Well, not really shocking, but you get my pun, I think. I don't know, I'm just winging it here. So I've got a few of these. Try and match it up to this similar, like, wear. That'll do. So we'll piece the other shock together. There's easily like 11 or so of these, maybe 11 and a half if we're lucky. And I'll piece those together and make one more shock, and then this will be ready to go. So I need to change out the pillow ball on the end of it, then it'll pop on here, and then you get the idea. Oh, a sec. Yeah, they're all the hex ones. Okay. So that. And perfect. That will fit on there like that, which isn't bad. Okay, then I think we're ready to just stick this thing on. To get a little more like stability out of this, I moved the shocks out from where the links were turned 90 degrees already, or the bracket for it. I just brought the shocks out to where the actual like knuckle and hub bolted onto or screwed onto the axle, and just to help get everything a little more like how I say, you get more stability if you have the shocks closer out to the edges of where the wheels are at, and that's what I did. Yeah, okay, it was a really hard jump. He bent the screws. Jeez. You might strain them and reuse them, but that was a hard hit. And now I gotta figure out where the screws are at on here to tie it in too. Oh, it's still in the shock. And I'm just remembering it now. When I started building this thing, I was still living in the apartment. Oof. Okay. Starting to get there. I gotta find a pillow ball for that, which I might use it from the broken like pillow balls that came out from underneath the truck. Pop that in there, then straighten out the screw or find another one that isn't bent. And yeah. It might get a little tricky actually because I can't get it to cooperate with popping apart. There we go. Do I have two of the same though? Because I don't know where the other half of the broken one went. Or the other broken one, I mean. Well, crud. Might have to spend a little bit trying to find a pillow ball that matches this one. Or two of the same. You get what I'm saying. Okay. Okay, two of the same plastic ones that I know came from HPI, so that's convenient, and they've got a little base to help stabilize where they're at too. Perfect. Do exactly what I want them to do. It's perfect. So that will go there, that'll go here, screw will be there. I can use a shorter one because of how this goes together now, so that's cool. Can I use this hardwood? I'm tempted to just use the bent one. There we go, not bent. So it started. Use the old Xmod screwdriver for this. There we are. And we'll get a little clip in there just to make it where it still can wheelie a little. It'll just makes it where the back end will always still kind of sit up a little higher and because of the preload. It'll just make it be the look I'm looking for. If I have any clips in here. Nope. Oh, it's like going into a cavern. There's a bunch of stuff in this. I bought this bag off of eBay for just like $10 forever ago. Yeah, that's one down. Okay. We might put the shock on this side just to get it sitting up a little more. Then deal with the hex stuff. That, a little more here. That a little bit here. Ow. Close enough. So let's stick that there for now, and we got to piece together one good shock out of all this mess. This is not a good one. Yeah, this one's even got oil in it still. Cool, we'll go with this. And that spring I grabbed. I'll find one more of those big clip things. Then a shock, or a like shock cap, or whatever you call them at the end of here, and then it will be assembled. You're considering Traxxas sued HPI. It's kind of funny I'm using a Traxxas part on an HPI shock now I think about it. You just won't say it like too much. Okay. quick little reference thing I want to see. If I can see it, how much thread did I show on the other end? The same I am currently showing on the shock, so we're good. Okay. Current shock for a few parts, and then that'll be ready. Oh, cool. Traxxas one or something. Yeah, it doesn't work. Oh well. I'll keep looking. Oh, I have the wrong one on the other side. That's gonna get swapped. And yeah, they grabbed the wrong one over there. Oops. Same. We will find two of the same clips and like shock caps eventually. I'm a little surprised there's this many random ones mixed in here. That looks like the one I'm looking for. Yes, let's do the same. Awesome. Okay, now clip. Same one? Yes, it is. Okay, angle that out because that's always easier for people to work on when you can pull them like that. And there. There. Okay. Say goodbye to the random shocks. They are not needed anymore. Where'd my other four-way go? This is the weird one. There's a cool one. Same weird stepped hex that doesn't really locate the wheel too well. I'm gonna put the parts on the little pad thing over here so I don't lose them. Tighten up some of this hardware. Okay, that's good. That needs to go here. And the screw's still on. So it literally hit so hard it popped the shock forward on this side while it was breaking the rest of the links down here. That's impressive. Oh. Oops. That needs to be a smidge shorter of a screw. Don't I'm just thinking about swapping it up here and then finding. I might just do that, even though I don't have to. It just makes the hardware all nicer, even though I don't have to do that. I'll go back and do it on the other side. And I seen about the right size screw here I can use. You don't ever want a screw to bottom out before it actually tightens the parts together that you're trying to fasten together. It just causes things to break or crack or just not hold or fail more so. Okay, that's good. Okay, that is an improvement. Rad. Yeah, I should have noticed on this side. It needs to be the shorter, like screw hardware on this as well. In the grand scheme of it, this doesn't really matter, but I at least know I'm doing a good job with it because I don't want this thing to break for a while again. Okay, now find a somewhat long screw to put over here. Maybe. Okay, I found a few options, but nothing I'm seeing that's like perfect yet. Yeah, no, I'll just try what I got. Honestly, this looks like the longest one out of the bunch. But I know I've got the same hardware on the other side as the screw. And it's working, so we'll use that. Then that. There. Good to go. So hardware is the same now, even though I said earlier it didn't have to be, but yeah, it's kind of how I think they had a term for that when it's like project creep, when stuff just slowly evolves to where you're doing a whole car instead of just changing a rotor. So suspension is good. All the hardware is good. I'm gonna change the hex on that one, or on this to fit that stub shaft, and then assemble that. Then we'll move forward to the front suspension, check a few things over, then tighten up the body mounts or try and find some that are a little better than this. Then just a few things with the body, and I think that's good to go, other than there's some loose hardware or part or wiring, I'm trying to say. Just overall going well. I say then this part sucked on the other side. Oh, fun. By the way, all these like plastic containers I'm always drilling into are just random ones I pick up from RC lots. Not really destroying anything I have anything invested in. Okay, looks like it's drilled fine. I just gotta get rid of the burr. This is a little bit warm, but nothing painful. Okay, I don't want that. I want that. There you go. There we go. Oh yeah, cool fact with these like HPI Wheelie Kings, there was a nitro one at one point. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, it wasn't very stable because it literally was so top heavy. The front wheels were part plastic because the traction was too much if you ran a full set of tires or like rubber tires, that the front would just hook and like nose up over center of gravity things. I like how this side's a little bit too tight. Yeah, this side's fine. This side's... Why is it being that way? Oh, it's just the slot between the stub shaft or the drive cup to the stub shaft of the axle itself. Because there's a lot more slop on that side than this. And this in between the stub shaft is actually okay. Let's still try something though. There might be a different height for where the pin's at, and I would like to see if there is a difference. Once that's handled, we'll move to the front. There we go. It works. By the time you add the weight of the body on, it'll settle out about like that. Cool. It's doing exactly what I wanted to see. Okay. I'm going to check the hardware over on the front of the chassis now. I'm pretty sure the motor mount is, yep, still solid. And then just check over a few things with the steering. Just trying to figure out why they bent the bracket the way they did where it's forward. Weird. Oh yeah, that was a cool thing I did years ago with this. So it was easier to find a pair of old like servo mounts that were just like plastic ones with 2 holes in them for like an old Tamiya servo or something than a bunch of like nylocks and washers and stuff. And that's what I've got going on up here because I was also trying out a 4-link setup at 1.4 on this. Oh, that's memories. That's what it was. Okay, so that is a little bit bent. But it's okay, because it doesn't look like the toe's out. Everything's like janky, but in a good way on this truck. That's cool. Still kind of all right. Okay. That's still fine. That, that, and that. That'll hold out. That one moved a bunch. Okay. Just worked itself loose. Back to this. Don't want any of the suspension components too tight to where it binds up the suspension. What on earth is going on that side? Oh, it's how I have the droop set up on the front. So under full like droop, it's the springs just don't have the full length of the shock, so it does that. Okay, we're good. I thought I had something wrong for a second. Okay, that's everything there. I know all the electronics are okay, but I might throw a zip tie here and there just to get things from being able to break. That was my arm. Ow. Not very positive zip tie. There we go. Just want to make sure I can't basically have the motor wires go into the spur. Go. I had scissors over here. This will do it the hard way with the X-Acto. And then the other side. I tucked it in just like that, because honestly, I know the motor is really close to where the interior is on the body, so I just want this similar to each other on both sides. It is. There. One less thing that can potentially be an issue for him on this. Does kind of make me want to build another one, even though I don't usually build multiple of the same exact truck, but the bronze truck and this might be an exception. Okay. Having to play in the steering. I'm playing the knuckles, which is fine. It looks like it's just the lower links that need to be straightened out on this, and then we're good to go. And then body mounts, and then that on-off switch, which I still think I might do a cool thing and throw in a just external little like connector to make it where you can turn the truck on and off through inside the body with where the gear shifter is. Just a cool little thing for them. Or headlights. They've got plenty of LEDs to make headlights these days. Just thinking of ways I could improve it. Oof. It took a really hard hit right here at one point. It bent the screw. There you go. Okay. Okay, lower ones are tight. Time to get upper ones done. There. If it continues it, I might even throw a crossbar that would just tie into the front like bracket or mounts here and force them to stay apart. But that's if this continues to be an issue. I mean, this has been the truck I haven't worked on in years, and I'd say it's held up pretty good considering it's been like with a 4-year-old playing with it and a dude who likes to like thrash and have a good time. You get my point. So, yeah, I think we're ready to move on to, well, just the body and that little switch thing I was talking about, because everything else with the drivetrain and suspension and electronics I know are like good to go. Well, I might check the servo a little bit. Yeah, it's really not that bad of play considering what it is. This Futaba servo is older than me. We're good. Oh, hold on a second. Yeah. Okay. Where's the switch? There's a switch. Okay. There's that. And this. Oh, not that. I'm thinking about just cutting it here and then adding in a connector and then making it that toggle switch thing I was talking about. So, need the clips. It's 3, we're the fourth. All right. Old Radio Shack Bronco body. It pays to go to Goodwill sometimes and just get junk, because sometimes you get a really cool body like this for nothing. Maybe $5 or something like that. Okay, there's the roll cage pushed back into place, and there were some screws that used to hold it into the body. So I'm going to pull this front area out and put some screws back in that. I'll probably just tighten up what's here because I know it works and it won't be a huge like half-hour thing of me trying to find body mounts that fit this. But I will change out the hardware or something that doesn't fit as loose as that. There we go. Okay, I am seeing kind of a weird setup. So we'll find some more screws later. So it looks like the same panel that becomes the front dash of it is also partially held in by the same screws that hold the front of that roll cage in. Bizarre. Well, I got plenty of extra screws, so it's not a problem. Probably gonna go with this, since I can find that. And be a match. Oh, this part sucks though. I gotta niggle them all through there and then hope it goes in. I don't want to pull the door off, but it's gonna make me. Ugh. Where's a magnetized screwdriver when you need one? Dang it. Door. Okay, with the door out of the way, we can clearly see where the screw goes way up over there. You would make it difficult. Go. Currently, I think this is making it more difficult to do than the real thing. Like putting an actual in. Just start. Ah. If this were any more difficult, I would call it a pacer. Why is it being such a pain to start? If I had a Phillips instead of the straight blade, this would go a little easier, but we're just going to try a little X-Mod screwdriver and see what that gets us. Finally, it starts. No, it popped back out. I think it's starting. Sure doesn't feel like it wants to, because it doesn't. All right. Drill time. I know there are threads in the roll cage, and it looks like there used to be threads where the dash is at. So I'm thinking someone just filled it with CA glue because it looks like someone filled it with CA glue. That was not me, because I would have just used a screw. So we're just going to use this and make a path. Do we have a hole yet? Not yet. We will. No, wait, that's why. Oh, no. We're running into things in our way. I wonder if I just drilled it from the top side. Still isn't going to be easy, but I can get better access to making a path. And yep, that's a bunch of CA glue in the way. Who did that? There. A hole. be an issue again? Yeah, I don't doubt it. Okay, that's one in. That's kind of another one in. Now I can try the screws again. Yeah, look at that. It actually goes in and starts. All right, that actually tightened it down. Cool. Put the door back on. I'm gonna call you a pacer. You're being a pain for no reason. Well, if I actually were like the pacer, there would have been an extra bracket that you would have had removed because it didn't give you the last like quarter inch of room to get to the other bracket that was in the way. I didn't have good experience with that pacer. That's to put it nicely. Okay, fine. He's stubborn. I'll just put in the other screw and that'll help line up this screw. There. It really is being stubborn about that. I don't understand why. Finally. What was your malfunction? Okay, so cage is on this side, and then we just gotta replicate the same thing on this side, tighten up the body mounts, and then slap that back together, and then do the little switch thing I was thinking about. Yeah. Or I might just zip tie the switch where it doesn't just kind of dangle under the truck and call it good, because they're already familiar with how it is. I just took apart the side I just did. Oh boy. These went together a little nicer this time. There we go. That. Now it's the other side. With door beacon spray, your doors just fall off. Okay, screw is in place. And roll cage is in. Bit of a steering wheel in the way, but we'll figure that out. Yeah, man. They're dealing with the same thing on this side now. Why it's fighting with the doors, I don't know. So, there's that. That is good to go. Now we'll just put the football in. And I gotta see who's blowing up my phone. Okay, there's that. There's two of these little short screws. Yeah, we could probably make that work. There we go. Okay. Few things left. I gotta check my phone. Okay. So, where do we want the switch? Because roughly the body will sit this height. And I'm thinking if I just zip tie it here. Do something cool like this. Or I could basically use some zip ties and just make it where it's held in place like that along the chassis. Something really easy. Just gotta find the other zip ties that I got from picking up RCs a little bit ago. And yeah, I think we're gonna run. What's that? Yeah, man. Nope. Okay. It's gonna be stubborn, so it gets the reamer. Go. And then one more. There we go. So by the time I get the zip ties tight, it'll just kind of send the chassis where it's really easy to get to and be a lot better than it used to be of just dangling around. Imagine how far the world would be if we had zip ties back in the old age. Medieval times is what I was trying to think of. So yeah, switch will be there, and there's some charge because I had the thing kind of twitch. I'm not going to do that again. Yep. Cool. I'd say that's somewhat decent. I was going to turn those off and call it good. Yeah, man. are. I'm okay with these being threaded in, even though the bi-mounts used to slide through this entire like shock tower thing they got going on. It's just I don't want like the fact that the bi-mounts are able to waffle around and all that. So we're gonna see what we can do to isolate that a little bit more. Could be a piece of rubber just to help dampen it. Could even just be random stuff I find while cleaning the hobby shop or the hobby room like this. Because that does a really good job of locating it actually. Okay, we might just do that. Then find some random other hardware. Make sure. Oh yeah, that'll work. Did we bottom out already? Kind of. Give me a second. Might have to do a few adjustments with this, even though it seems like it'll locate the bi-mount pretty well, and I've got two of them here. At least I did. I don't know where the other one went. Where'd the other one go? Well, cool, vanished. Okay, there were two of the same like little pill ball thing that we're going to locate these fine. Okay, plan B, the little rubber thing. Not really what I want to do. Nope. That will very much do what I want it to do. Do I have any more of this diameter rubber? Because I can still tighten it down, but it will try and locate the bi-mount to middle, but it'll still give if we have to hit anything because this is still a hard body. That's really ideal to what I'm looking for. Yeah, I found more of it. Cool. Okay, that's about half. Now we have the pieces we need. Cool. Okay, I am looking for a very specific type of screw to help like pull all together. Basically this, it's going to have a larger screw head to help like force the rubber to stay where it needs to be, but help pull everything together. Just need to find two of them that are really close to the same length I'm looking for. And I found them. Okay. This is the front or back? This is the front. Okay, because I know they're angled a bit, so the hood kind of... Wait, this is the underside of the truck. I don't need to worry about that. So they can be like that, actually. Ta-da! Now do the other side. What's going on? Doesn't seem like it's wanting to seat in the way I wanted it to, so we're gonna encourage it. There we go. There it is. Not the best angle, but we'll make it work. I think. Yes, it's as awkward as it looks. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to try it this angle. Nope. There we go. Held it in place a little better and better hardware. Yeah. And we'll do the same with the back, and then body goes on and done. How on earth did I get those screws in there? There's no way to access it. Oh, okay. I did something really silly to get to the body mounts here. The way these go on, it's just one screw and then like a locating pin. So I should, in theory, be able to pull these screws out and then easily pull. Yeah. And then I can get to the screws easy. It's kind of cool. And we just gotta find more of the same rubber and call it good. Worst case, I can go and grab some like junk rubber from the shock or Tamiya shocks in the drawer, but I'd rather just reuse what I can find. And I knew I had a piece of it earlier out here, and there it is. And yeah, no, it's this. Okay. Should be enough. Just push that in, then reassemble. Actually, while I'm at it, I might put like more a longer screw in there. Okay. Found one. Now we need one more. It's not the same. Could work. I just want two of the same though. Almost done. We've just got a few little things like this to deal with yet. And that should work. Alright, where's body mount? There. Okay. Oh, did someone say something? Sorry, I'm not used to people commenting on the streams. Okay. Back to this. That started on. Doesn't really matter what orientation I put these at, but we're just going to kind of angle them towards each other like the front. There we go. One down, one more left. Oh, that's wild. This one was rusting out. I think. And it just had wax junk on it. Okay, where's that screw I found? No. Yes. Okay, and the rubber piece. No. Yes. That's there. Now do this. There we go. Now this can go back together. After I get back together. Come on. There. Now we just gotta put the shock hardware back on, and then the body goes back on. This thing will be ready for Frank to pick up. And the same kind of screw I can put on the other side. There we go. Now it kind of matches more. Okay, so that's that. This gets thrown under there. Those are in. Watch it. No, that's definitely the front. Okay, I didn't want to have it on backwards. What are we interfering with? The front has to go on first because of how the interior is. So it goes here. And this will go where it's being stubborn. There's that. Line up with where the metal plate is for the motor mount. And this goes here and there and oh, ta-da! Ta-da! Yeah. I gotta find the body clips. I mean, hold on a second. Why does it look like the body's not quite where I want it? No, that's where it always goes. It's just because I have the clips in the back shocks. Okay. Nope. Oh no. So that's and that. Behold. And now it's like on. It's always been kind of a cool truck because you just do that and it doesn't break. Or it might have broke. It did not. It's just tipsy. Okay, cool. I might still stream a bit, but honestly, I'm getting kind of hungry and I might run to town to get some food. So, yeah. Truck's fixed. That was kind of fun. There we go. So, yeah. I don't know if anyone found that entertaining or not, but you figured I would show somebody. So, I'll see you guys next time, I guess, when I work on something. Later.